had a really hard time finding any kind of reviews online of where people would use the Osmo Pocket and try to put it on a bike. The allure of such a small gimbal was far too hard to resist, and before I knew it, I saw myself putting my card details in. I wanted to do a kind of fair comparison with stuff I've used before. So I've taken this out on a regular, slightly boring cross-country loop that has a few features that would be shaky at best without any kind of stabilisation, where there's been horses walking, where there's kind of roots and stuff like that. And you can't mention action cameras without mentioning GoPro, and that's what I usually use. So we're out here against that, and the first thing you'll notice is it's really difficult to get the horizon and the handlebars, so you do get this cinematic feel, but at the same time you don't really feel like you're there. It's kind of like watching a car. Occasionally when you're on something steeper, when you're climbing or descending, they will pop in the view and they're quite nice. It does look great though. There's been no post-processing at all. This is straight off the camera, and it's at this point I was literally just holding it in my hand. And this part here is pretty rough and slippery, and as you can see it's nice and stable, but where I've got the handlebars in the shot now, the horizon kind of dips out. The field of view is really quite small. I didn't actually have the clips that I needed to mount it to my chest mount properly, so I had to jury rig it to a roost guard. So at this point I'm pedalling up a hill with the sun on me, wearing full motocross body armour on my top. I also made the decision to test under less than optimal conditions. The trails were either facing the sun or in the shadow, which is pretty challenging. The light was low, the visibility patchy at best, some bits of blue sky coming in here and there, but other than that it was kind of misty, and the light was actually surprisingly harsh in places. Now these are kind of challenges for a camera. You can see where there's a big difference between how bright the sun is in the sky, which we're facing, and how dark and dingy it is in the shadows, and I think it copes with it really, really well. You can actually see right down to the beach from here, and I think the clarity is quite good. I'm actually going pretty fast there, and it's being shaken around a lot. If you didn't have stabilisation and you had the camera mounted on the bike, you really know about it. So it's quite really stable and clear, allowing you to kind of get quite a lot of detail. Now I'm shooting at 1080p at 30 frames a second here, and it goes up a lot more than that. You can shoot in 4K 60 frames a second. And it's probably also worth pointing out that I didn't charge it up before I left. It came straight out of the box and had 60% battery, and I used it for about an hour doing various shots, and all in all I shot 40 minutes of straight up video during that time, and at no point did it get noisy with the fan in it, overheat, or I didn't run out of battery, so that was something good. And I know those things should be a given, but with gimbals they really don't seem to be. It was only a year ago that I had my first big gimbal pack, and I had to have a rucksack on with the power in the back, and I had to kind of be really careful. I had a GoPro camera, and it was so finicky, things would just go wrong all of the time with it, especially connecting the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth connectivity to get to see the view and that sort of thing. This doesn't have any of that, but it does plug straight into the side of my phone. On this bit of footage here, I really try and womp it through these holes. Those potholes are pretty savage. It's nice and smooth. I was really pleased with that, to be quite honest. And here is a boring bit of road footage, obviously, just to kind of show that you could watch your road rides back if you were that kind of sadist. And here's my little jury rig roost mount. So yes, in short, it's an incredibly cool toy, and one that's really useful, and I think that will be in our armoury. I mean, it's so small, and the battery lasts so long, it's kind of, there's no reason not to take it out with you. Will it be the primary kind of action camera we use for on the bike? No. Is it amazing for blogging and vlogging? Yes, look, they're following me around with the camera. That's super good, isn't it? It makes you look really professional. But on the bike, there's precious few shots that I can think that I would really use it for. But it's one of those, things that when we're doing kind of segments between stuff, it's just a little bit more interesting. And if we were doing different kind of shoots, like we're doing lifestyle, we're going out, or doing adventure stuff, or I think that would be really, really good to have, especially out on travel and that sort of thing. But it's probably not the GoPro killer for action cameras at the moment. But then again, it wasn't ever designed to be one.